My child is starting off the school year so strong, but I notice as the year goes on, it gets a little more challenging. How can I set my child up for success? On this episode of Ask Sensei, we're going to give you a really quick, easy change in the way you ask your child questions and the way you compliment your child that's going to help drive their ability to sustain that excellent performance throughout the school year. Let's kick it. Hey, it's Sensei Randy. Welcome back to Season 2 of Ask Sensei. We are really excited that we're going to be cranking up Season 2. We have a whole bunch of topics we're going to be getting into. We got a whole bunch of new friends that we've been hooking up with over the past couple months since we took our little hiatus due to summer camp. And we're going to be bringing some of these experts in. We have some educators that are going to be joining us, some administrators that are going to be coming in, as well as some psychologists and social counselors that are really, really knowledgeable on kids and emotional challenges we face with our kids. So we are really excited for this year. We're going to talk a little bit today about something that will definitely help set your child up for success this school year, and that is we all seem to have this thing where with our kids where they start the school year off really strong, and as the school year goes on, they tend to have a little bit of that drop. And we have a Harvard study that we were reading a little while ago that gives us a really quick, easy insight to how we can help them sustain that performance throughout the school year. And basically what it looked at is it broke kids up into 3 different test groups, and one group didn't get any positive feedback. The second group got positive feedback about their performance, and the third one got positive feedback about the effort. And the results were really, really interesting in how the kids performed at a sustained level. And as you may have guessed, the first one didn't do very well. They fell off rather quickly. Here's what gets interesting, and I know we have a lot of great parents, a lot of great families that come with us, and we love to try to motivate our children and talk to our children. And I know in a number of our podcasts we've talked about the language that we use and how critical choosing the specific language is to getting the results that we want. And so the way that they did this study was the second group, as I mentioned, they were praised for their performance. So they were basically told, you are so smart. You are so sharp. Your work is so excellent. You are such a high level. You're so intelligent. And they were praised with that intelligence appraise for how smart they were. And those kids did pretty well right out of the gate, but as the school year goes on, as all of you know, the beginning of the school year, kids should do really well because it's basically review of prior year concepts. And then as they progress into the school year, more and more new information is added, more and more higher level learning is expected and is given to them, so the tasks become harder. And what happened was, as these kids that were given that intelligence praise progressed through the year, as the work got harder, their performance fell off significantly. I believe it was a 32% drop in performance through the course of that year. And again, that was just by telling them how smart they were and what a terrific job they did on that assignment. And there's a third group, and the third test group was given effort praise. So basically they had that group be told repeatedly how excellent it was that they attempted the way they did, how their effort going into it was so good, how they were so proud of how hard they tried on that assignment. And that test group did an exceptional job, not only at the beginning, but they maintained it through the school year. And the performance that they had as the work got harder set them up with that mindset. And we talk a lot about mindset and how we have for our identity. And one of the things we do is when we set up somebody with the identity of you're smart, you're intelligent, it's a great place to be, not saying it's not a positive place to be. However, we give them that identity, and then when the work gets harder and more challenging, they tend to drop off a little bit. Once they start to drop off, that identity tends to become clouded, and we start to have challenges with maintaining that identity. Whereas if we're praising the effort and talking about how hard they work, they have a tendency to continue to put in that effort, and it even motivates them to put in more effort. And that extra effort is what helps maintain their performance through the school year, right? Keeping them motivated when it's hard. When things get hard, that's when we tend to start to fall off. That's when we tend to come up with all these other reasons that we're not working on something. And it's the perseverance that we instill in these kids that cause them to, all right, I know it's challenging, but I'm a worker. I drive this. I am going to continue to succeed because I'm never going to give up. And once they develop that identity of being somebody that grinds it out, that's somebody that gets through it, that somebody excels once it gets hard, once they get that mindset, when they get into those situations, which they are going to be in before the end of that year, where it is a lot more challenging, they have that success because their mindset is, I'm going to achieve, I'm going to overcome this. So instilling that small change, putting in that slight change in not what we reward them for, because I know all of the families here are, very involved and engaged parents, and you're very, in tune with how you keep your child motivated. So being able to give them that slight tweak and motivating not the performance in that moment, but the effort in that moment, causes them to actually build that identity where I'm a finisher, I close this, I end it. And once they get that identity, once your identity registers as something, it's really hard for you to walk away from that, right? Your identity determines your actions. If you're somebody that quits right before the finish line, you're going to find ways to sabotage yourself before you get to that finish line. If you're somebody that follows through and finishes, it goes against your identity. It's against who you are to quit as those times get tough. So that's just a really easy technique, an easy, quick change that you can make just in your language that's going to help set your child up for success. I hope you got something out of this. I hope it helped you, and I hope your child has an amazing school year. We are so excited for this year. And again, we're really looking forward to bringing in, we have a whole bunch of experts that are going to be coming in and chatting with us, so we're looking forward to hearing from them as well. I hope you guys have an outstanding day, and we'll see you on the floor. What's up?